Well, you certainly don't need me to sit here and preach to you about the dangers of drinking and driving, but in case you need a reminder, 126 people died in DW crashes in New Mexico alone just last year. That is 126 people, folks, that did not need to lose their life. And today, the March of Sorrow is going on at the Roundhouse, where hundreds of students and more will remember those folks and try to reduce the numbers this year. Here with us to talk about the event, Doug Shoup. You are with AAA New Mexico. You guys are sponsoring the event. Thanks so much for coming in.
We are. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having us here this morning.
Yeah, very important issue at hand, drinking and driving. But let's talk about the March of Sorrow. What is it exactly?
This is the 5th annual year for this March of Sorrow. It's organized by the Santa Fe Prevention Alliance. And for the 2nd year in a row, AAA New Mexico is joining in support of this march. It's an important event because it takes place on DWI Awareness Day at the Capitol, and it brings together law enforcement officers, public safety advocates, and teenagers to march around the Capitol at the sound of a single beat of a drum in honor of victims who've lost their lives to DWI.
Yeah, such an important issue. You know, let's talk about the teen element here. I think that's very important because we want to try to, I can imagine just trying to use teens to get the message across to their peers. Probably hits home.
You're right. Getting that message out to young people early on. Here's what we know, that drunk drivers contribute to about 1 out of every 3 traffic crashes nationwide. And also every 45 minutes here in this country, someone dies as a result of a drunk driving accident. And we also know that drinking and driving shatters lives. So when these teenagers show up at this march and they take part, they're walking shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement officers and with family members who've lost loved ones. Many of those family members carrying photos of family members who they've lost to DWI. It makes a very powerful impact on these young minds. And that's where we need to start, is getting this message out to young people.
And at the end of the day, the goal really is to push legislation through to toughen up on the laws.
Close the loopholes, absolutely. Make the penalties stricter for offenders of DWI. You know, what's so difficult for so many of these families, as you can see some of the photos from last year's march, is these deaths are entirely preventable. They did not have to happen. If you plan to drink, make a plan not to drive. And for the young people out here seeing these types of images, taking part in an event like this, really hopefully will make them remember how important it is not to get behind the wheel after they've been drinking, and also never to get behind into a car with someone who's been drinking as well.
That is a good point. Thank you so much, Doug,
Thank
for
you for
coming in with AAA New Mexico. Again, for more information on the march that is happening today and how you can get involved, go to our website, krqe.com, and click on CASA tab. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
All right, stay right there. We'll be right back.